today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're not going to be reacting to any videos, but we're going to be taking a couple of fighting game archetype quizzes to see what fighting game archetype fits my personality and playstyle. And then I also have one for fighters, I have one for Grand Blue, and I have one for Guilty Gear, just to see like which character by this quiz definition would be the best character for me to play, since fighters, Grand Blue, and Guilty Gear are the main ones that I play nowadays. But I also have, I also have one for Street Fighter 6 just because it was available. But I also have these three fighting game quizzes here. And so, yeah. So last time I actually done one of these quizzes, it was either a couple weeks ago or like a month or two ago. Same difference, but the last time I did one of these quizzes, it said I was a Shoto player. I only did one quiz at the time, but the last time I did one of these, it said I was a Shoto player. So we're gonna see if that changes at all in the incoming weeks or anything. And when it comes to like, if it still shows that I'm a Shoto player, that's really weird, considering I don't really play Shotos. Like, are there any Shoto characters that I've played in fighting games? In Dragon Ball, I guess Super Saiyan Vegeta would be a Shoto. By Dragon Ball standards, he has a fireball. He has multiple fireballs. He has a DP. He has some form of a kick forward advancing move. So I guess Super Saiyan Vegeta would be a Shoto, quote unquote, even though it's Dragon Ball. Outside of that, I don't think I've played any Shotos. Dragon Ball Fighters, no. Grand Blue. Would you count Vera as a Shoto? Cause like she has a lariat. She has a DP. But she doesn't have like a traditional fireball, and she has an install that gives her an air dash. So like, she's kind of like a Shoto install character. She also has a command grab, which most Shotos don't have a command grab to my knowledge. So like, Vera's like weird. Guilty Gear, no, I don't play Shotos in Guilty Gear. Melty Blood, I didn't play a Shoto. Street Fighter 6, I played DJ. I guess no. Wait, would DJ count as a Shoto? He has a fireball. He has a reversal. I guess DJ would kinda count as a Shoto, I guess. So, what, we got like 3 characters out of like, what, like the 19, 20 characters I played? So, I don't play Shotos that often, so... Alright, so let's get started on these quizzes. So I'm just gonna put true here. It doesn't really matter. Alright, fighting game archetypes. Round 1, let's see. Alright, when playing video games, what do you prioritize? A balanced playstyle using the first few lessons the game taught me to their fullest. High-speed octane action with many button presses in a minute. Aiming for maximum destruction and intimidating, forceful playstyle. Or keeping things under control from afar, controlling the flow of gameplay. This is tough because I don't necessarily particularly hate any archetype. Like, I can play any character if I like the design and the personality of a character. Like, I could play a grappler if I really wanted to. I could play a zoner if I really want to. So, like, I think in my mind, I'm, like, very flexible when it comes to, like, picking a character. If I'm not looking at the character at all and looking at it objectively, I think probably the one that fits the best for me, personally, is probably either this one or this one. I don't like aggression that much. It's not my thing. Like, I'm not overly aggressive when I play fighting games. It's hard for me to, like, keep up with my own mind. And when I fight against other players that are, like, hyperly aggressive, I hate it. So, like, this one doesn't particularly go to me. High octane action. or maximum destruction, right? Like maximum destruction sounds like a fucking Twitter user that like just uploads TODs all the time and doesn't actually play the game. So like it's literally one of these two. A balanced playstyle using the first few lessons the game taught me to their fullest, or keeping things under control from afar, controlling the flow of gameplay. Now this sounds way more Shoto-like, and this seems like a zoner. So it's literally asking me, do I like playing Shotos or do I like playing zoners? And like, it's kind of both. I kind of like playing both playstyles. But I guess the balance playstyle, because it gives me more flexibility to like handle a lot more situations. Like if I play like a pure zoner, like for example Fairy, like her main game plan is to keep people away from her because she doesn't have like an actual reversal or fast buttons, right? She can like do like good mix-ups and stuff when she's in, but that's, from my experience, that's not how you want to play her. And so like not having any option outside of one in a defensive scenario, it just like isn't appealing like objectively. So probably like a balanced playstyle is probably something I'd go with. Which element best describes you? Fire, water, earth, or air? Fire is very powerful, but really hard to control. So this is probably like a more rushdown fighter. Water is very flexible and can be used like in lots of scenarios. So I would probably say like water is probably like the Shoto answer, because Shotos are very flexible. Earth is very rigid in its playstyle, and like it's just really hard to like beat Earth because it's literally Earth. And then air is kind of like the same as water, where it's very flexible, but air is like more about like freedom, I guess. If I just want to say like what's my favorite element, I'd probably go Earth. Honestly, I'd probably go Earth. It's probably Earth or water, probably, but I'm gonna go with Earth. This is my first option. Which would you say aligns with you the most? I trust my guts and am willing to make risky bets in the hopes that I get the reward that I seek. My lightning quick reflexes allow me to get myself out of tight situation and adapt to my environment around me. My versatility means I won't ever be found in a helpless situation. I won't find helpless in any situation I find myself. And my planning and decision making makes sure I take no unnecessary risk, even if that means taking out a drawn out victory. So the second one is definitely not me. I don't have good reactions at all. I still get hit by Dragon Rush in 6M, so I definitely don't have good reaction speed. I trust my guts and I'm willing to make risky bets in the hope that I get the reward that I seek. Honestly, that's more about the game that I play more than anything, necessarily than a play style. Because I would say I'm way more gutsy and willing to do stuff in Guilty Gear more than Dragon Ball or Grand Blue. I find myself like being way more patient in Grand Blue than any of the games I've played so far. Dragon Ball and Guilty Gear, I'm willing to press and willing to do stuff more often than not, just because that's just kind of how the game is like played. Grand Blue is kind of like that, but like less, because you don't have that many options. My planning and decision making makes sure that I take no unnecessary risk if it means taking out a drawn out victory. That sounds a lot more, especially when it comes to Dragon Ball, because I know so much about the game. Like, if I don't feel like I have to like go out of my way to do something and I know I won't get away with it, I won't make that decision. So like, for example, like in Dragon Ball, like if I know a move is -5 on block, or I know a move is -6 or whatever, I'm not gonna press afterwards because I know my turn's over. Like, I'm not gonna unnecessarily press after I know I'm hella negative. Like, -2 was something different in Dragon Ball, right? You can press after -2. You're still minus, but like not as minus. But like if it's like -5 and onward, it's like, yeah, no, I'm not pressing. My turn's over. Whereas like other games like Guilty Gear and Grand Blue, where I don't know much about the individual like specifics of characters, like I'm just more willing to just like test the waters and see if it works, and if it doesn't, then I know not to do it. So I guess like this fits, because if I know the information, then I won't take unnecessary risks. Like, if I know, like I said, if I know something's hella negative, I'm not gonna press afterwards. Even if I know my opponent doesn't know that, it's just like, why take that extra step if I don't have to? So I guess this makes sense for me. Which is the least favorable outcome in a match? A timeout loss, feeling suffocated by my opponent's play, my opponent always being one step ahead of me, being unable to truly close the gap between me and my opponent. Timeout loss doesn't matter to me. Being suffocated by my opponent's play. This seems like way more like rushdown. I hate fighting rushdown people, aggressive people. I hate it. Because, especially when it's a game that I don't understand, right? If it's a game that I don't understand, like Guilty Gear, fighting against like Chip, Milia, like Soul Bad Guy, like it's like the worst thing for me, because it's like, not only because my characters are really bad at fighting that, but like just the over aggressiveness and like not being able to like fully grasp the situation until it's far too late is really annoying to me. Like I don't find that particularly, like, I know those playstyles have to exist, but definitely not one of my favorites. Yo, what's up, Dash? My opponent always being one step ahead of me. This is more like a mental thing than an archetype thing. I feel like if my opponent is always one step ahead of me, it's frustrating, but I don't think it's bad or it's like annoying. Like, I don't know. My opponent's always one step ahead of me. I don't think that's more like a skill issue, honestly. It's really a skill issue, so it doesn't bother me that much. 9 times out of 10, if someone's one step ahead of me, I already know it by their play. So it's like I kind of just expect it. So it's not like really annoying to me. It just is what it is. Being unable to close the gap between me and my opponent. I have a complicated relationship with zoners and people that just run away from me. Because I understand, like, it's a necessary playstyle that needs to exist, but, like, I also kind of like zoners, but I don't like being zoned. It's kind of, like, weird. It's like a weird paradox. It's like, hey, I like this thing, but I don't like it being done to me, right? But, like, it's between, like, 2 and 4. I feel like I hate Rushdown. It's probably my least favorite archetype, probably. Even though it's probably the archetype I've played the most is Rushdown characters, but like, you know. But yeah, I don't like Rushdown. It's way too annoying and it's way too, it just rattles my brain way too much, probably. What form of competitive activities, sports do I partake in outside of video games? None of these. Nothing. None of these options. Okay, alright. My result, Shoto. The all-around package. Easy to learn, hard to master with I think this is a typo. With tools for most situations, you can never go wrong with that. Shoto tends to match the pace of the game they are from and work. Damn, there's a lot of typos in this. Work best when focusing on fundamentals. Traditionally equipped with a full screen projectile for spacing, uppercut for stuffing air approaches, and movement-based kick, and other options to deal with any match. So, yeah, Shoto. Like I said before, I got Shoto on my last quiz, so I'm not surprised that I got Shoto here. But I guess Shoto is my preferred archetype in this quiz. Like I said, I don't play Shotos that often, so yeah, no. But Shoto. Alright, this is fighting game. Okay, this is definitely a fighting game quiz. So this one was kind of like, I guess like a D&D quiz or whatever. It had fighting game quiz on the freaking Google search. Like I said, I didn't really look too in depth with these. I kind of just picked them at random. So, well, except for the game specific quizzes. But yeah. Alright, what is my age? I am 23? 23? I'm a dude. Are you typically an aggressor or defender? somewhere in the middle. Because I do play rushdown characters, even though I don't like the playstyle, but I also don't mindlessly try to do stuff, right? Most of the stuff I try to do with a reason. So, I'm somewhere in the middle. I already answered this, Earth. How do you deal with new challenges? Take my time to think things through, run right through them, and Run right through them. That is what challenges are about. Be precautious but assertive in solving the challenge. Run away from it spontaneously. Probably think things through, if we're talking about in a general sense. If you're one of these for the rest of your life, what would you be? A wrestler, a painter, a prize fighter, pro goalie, martial artist, or scientist? I'd be a scientist. I love studying science. Even though I'm not really good at it, I'm not good at studying itself, but I really like science. I like astrology, astronomy. Well, astrology is not really science, but astronomy, I like mathematics, I like algebra, I like stuff like that. I also like biology too. Which weapon do I prefer? Gun, sword, axe, knife, your fist, or katana? If you're asking me which one would I use, I'd probably go with a gun. If you're asking like which one, like if it didn't matter, I'd probably... I don't even know what a knife is. Actually, no, I'd still probably go with a gun, actually. I'd probably still go with a gun, actually. Which fighting games do I play the most? FPS? No. Strategy? Nah. Fighting game? Yeah. Sports? Hell no. I'd probably say fighting games I play the most. It's probably like fighting games or RPG, but I'd probably go with fighting games because I play the most nowadays. Which activity sounds better? A game of balls, sleeping, hanging out with friends, playing chess, playing music, goofing around. Hanging out with my friends. That's how most of it, even though I don't like go on Discord like as much as I probably should. I like hanging out with my friends. Which sport do I prefer? Basketball, wrestling, football, track, or baseball? I don't like sports at all, so yeah. I don't like sports. Did I like the quiz? I don't know. Sure, why not? Finally, who do you prefer? Heroes, villains, or side characters? I like all the characters, honestly. If they're written well, then yeah, if they're written well, I don't really care who it is. Alright. My fighting game style is a turtler. Well, that's not good. These characters are often given counters, dodges, pokes, and charges. Their main goal is defense. They make you attack them, and then punish... Wait, they make you attack them, then you punish for it with well-timed counter hits. These characters often lack mobility, and are a bit slow side, but have decent damage and health. They are not built for combo streams, and often will have some projectiles. Hakumen and Blaze Blue, Venom and Guilty Gear, Guile and Street Fighter, S-Kill and Dive Kick. So I'm a turtle. Dash, you think I'm a turtler? I don't know if I agree with this. Am I? Do I really play counter characters like that? I played Jiren in Dragon Ball. I can't think of any other counter character that I've played before. Okay, so the next up is Zoner. I've definitely played a couple of Zoners. I've played Fairy. I've played SSJ Vegeta. He's a Shoto / Zoner now. But if we're talking about like pure Zoner, I've played... I am not a turtler, bro. I am not a turtler. There's no way. Nah. I actually don't believe that. No way. I'm actually a turtler? Balanced is that... So balanced would probably be like Shoto's. Wow, this quiz says 47% of a Shoto. And in this quiz, it said I'm a pure Shoto player. And this one says I'm a turtler. Jesus. Yeah. I like how Rushdown is my least favorite. Like I said, I don't like Rushdown. Speedy, stance, tricky, grappler, balanced zoner, turtler. Wow, Dash, you actually think I'm a turtler? It's actually kind of wild. Damn, I'm a turtler. Huh. Alright, let's go on to the first fighting game specific quiz. So Street Fighter 6 fighter and control type personality quiz. So it's gonna choose the character and what control type I would use. So let's do this. Street Fighter 6 specific. Alright, at the fight started. You don't see any other way? Wait, okay, alright, before I continue to Street Fighter 6, I need you to describe how like, why do you think I'm a turtler? What kind of things do I do that makes me a turtler? You wanna know what you are? These quizzes are... I could send you them, actually. I could send you to them. I could send you them on Discord. If you want to take them. There you go. Yeah, but like... The list says it all? I don't think I'm a turtler. I mean, I would say, like, I'm more passive. I would say that I'm a very passive player. Like, especially if I don't know you. Like, if I'm playing you for the very first time, most often than not, I won't take, like, major risks that I won't take, right? In that way, I can say I'm defensive, but I'm not a turtler. There's no way. I am not that passive. There's no way. I don't know about this, bro. I don't know. Alright, let's get to the Street Fighter 6 quiz. So, the fight started. The moves you make can now make or break the flow going forward. What do you do? Keep my distance and see what my opponent does. Use pokes to close the gap between me and my opponent. I like to keep my distance, just so I can see like how they handle. Because neutral is like the most important part of a fighting game in most interactions. If you have really bad neutral, it's like almost impossible to win. If you have bad neutral, unless you play a rushdown character, in which case that doesn't really matter. But most often than not, if you have bad neutral, then you can't win. Whether you win or lose depending on a variety of factors. Which of these do you prioritize? Preventing my opponent from controlling my movement, rushing my opponent down and securing victory right away. Whether you win or lose depends on a variety of factors. Preventing my opponent from controlling my movement. Rushing my opponent down and securing the victory. Cause like, that really depends. That really depends on who I'm fighting. Like if it's against Eldo, like yeah, I'm gonna rush him down because he doesn't have he doesn't block. So of course I'm gonna rush him down and kill him quickly. But like if I'm fighting against you, Tack or like Muffin or anybody, like I don't unnecessarily rush down with no reason. Like I will rush you down, but like I won't do it like with no reasoning. I don't know. Preventing my opponent from controlling my movement. Probably A. I would say rushing people down is not my first immediate answer, I would say. That's probably what I'd say. You're halfway point in the fight, and the back and forth between you and your opponent has led to a stalemate. What's your next move? Bait and dodge my opponent while racking up damage. Close the gap and finish my opponent in close quarters combat. Okay, now in this situation, I would probably go in for the kill, because if honest to God, if it's like a stalemate, then that means that there's somewhere around my skill level, and so what that means to me is that I'm able to take more risks, because especially if I know if I know what they're bad at. Like for example, like me and you, Dash, are around the same level of skill when it comes to like fighters or something. So like, if I get you like if it's a really close match, but I can tell that you're really nervous about like Krillin rocks or like Krillin Ki Blast, like sometimes like if we're like in neutral and like if I think you're gonna super dash at me, I'll just sit there and let you come to me. Or sometimes like if I know that you know that I think I'm gonna throw a 5S and like curve it up into the air as Krillin, I'll just run up at you. Like I won't even throw the Ki Blast. Like I'll just run at you and just close the gap immediately. Cause I like at that point like we're evenly matched and have evenly spread health. So it's like I'm willing to take that bet. So like if it's like I said, if it's a stalemate and that means like we're closer in skill level, I'm willing to take the risk. I'm willing to take the risk. Not unnecessarily, or like not on a whim, but like a thoughtful rush down, I guess. You or your opponent are evenly matched, but they got the upper hand in round 1 and beat me. What do you focus on turning things around? Throwing my opponent off by focusing on trigger moves. Get a read on my opponent last round, so I'm going head first. See, like, the answer is in the middle for me. If I get a read on my opponent, got a read on my opponent last round, so I'm going head first. Throwing my opponent off by focusing on trickier moves. You got balanced? No way, you're not balanced, bro. You're hella aggressive. Nah, bro, you're not balanced. You're hella aggressive. Especially in fighters, dude, you're hella aggressive. You're not balanced. You're hella aggressive. That I disagree with. You're hella aggressive. Like, you're not mindlessly aggressive like Eldo or Pretty, but you're hella aggressive. Hella aggressive. Nah, I actually don't believe that. I don't believe that. No way. But we're evenly matched, but they got the upper hand in round 1. What do I focus on? Honestly, I'd probably go with B. Because if I know they're evenly matched, then like I said, I know, and if I know what their weaknesses are, then in my mind, I have the opportunity to make a play, right? So like, throwing my opponent off by focusing on trickier moves is not like if I have the option, I could do it, but like most characters that I play are not tricky enough to where like I can just like do something random and just win off of it, right? Like I said, I play like, I don't want to say standard characters, but like I don't play tricky characters like on purpose, right? I don't play like stance characters or characters that are like really hard to understand, because I rarely understand the characters that I play. So like, I'm not gonna go pick a character that's like uber duper hard, you know? That's just not me. So I'd probably go with B. You can be aggressive or defensive though. No, you don't. You do not play defensively. No, you do not. You do not play defensively. No, you do not, brother. Actually, no. You play defensive. No. You play defensively when you get mollywopped. I'll say that. You play defensively when you think you don't have a shot. I say that. If you think you have a shot, you're hella aggressive. If you don't have confidence, then you're defensive. I can say that for certain, because there are definitely matches when we played in Dragon Ball where I've gone like 6-0 against you, and then you start turtling up. I've definitely seen that before. But to say you're a defensive player, I don't agree. I do not agree with that. I can't. Even the characters you pick are aggressive. Like Giovanna is a hella aggressive character. She's Rushdown. Bardock, Rushdown. Labcoat 21, Rushdown. Kefla, Rushdown. Like almost all the characters you play are Rushdown characters. You play hella aggressive characters. I don't think you've played like a single counter or a zoner character that I can think of. Or at least in the games that I've seen you play. I mean, let me preface that. In the games that I've seen you play. Achieving victory means envisioning your ideal self. Which one of these fighters best describes you, the ideal you? I ramp things up the second half and get more and more aggressive. I remain in control and prefer a more consistent and stable approach. Yeah, this is definitely me. My preferred character in Street Fighter 6 is Chun-Li? Really now? Honestly, that actually kind of makes sense, actually. If DJ wasn't in the game, then I probably would have played Chun-Li or Lily. I would have played one of those two characters, Chun-Li or Lily, if DJ wasn't in Street Fighter 6. So, I guess that makes sense, Chun-Li. You know what? You got a point. I changed one of your answers and you got Turtler. There's no, you're not a Turtler. I can't, no, I don't believe that. No. Maybe I have to watch you play other fighting games, but whenever you're fighting against me, you're aggressive. Guilty Gear Strive is something different because you're brand new, so of course, like, you're not gonna be like aggressive in Strive because you just don't know what you're doing. But in Dragon Ball, whenever we play Dragon Ball, like, you're hella aggressive. It's only like it's only when, like, after a couple matches where you start to turtle and play defensive, but like out the gate, you're and like even when you turtle, like, or play defensively. If I do something that I don't do normally, you will go ham. You will go ham. Like, for example, like if I'm playing like Blue Vegeta, right? And like I'm just shooting you with Ki Blast over and over and over again, right? And you start to turtle. As soon as I throw out a big bang attack, as soon as you see it, you'll lariat it, and then you'll either get hit or you hit me. You immediately go for the aggressive play if I do one thing that's like outside of character. Like, you immediately go aggressive. Immediately. Because you're used to fighting me. Nah, I guess. Dragon Ball is its own thing. Other fighting games I play differently than fighters. Yeah, every fighting game is different. But like, I don't know. I guess I haven't seen you play other fighting games too often, so I guess I can't make a blatant statement like that, but like, in my experience, you're way more aggressive. Maybe I need to watch you play Mortal Kombat or whatever. Actually, maybe we'll do that. After this, I'm gonna look at your channel and I'm gonna see your Mortal Kombat videos. I wanna see it. I wanna see if you're a turtler or not. But yeah, Street Fighter 6, Chun-Li is the character that they suggest to me. And then what's my controller type? Oh, it's another quiz. At the heart of any fighting game is well fighting. Everyone wants different things from a match, but which one of these do you want? I want one thing and one thing only: to win. I want me and my opponent to get to know each other through battle. I would probably go with to win, because that's the goal of fighting game is to win. I think I'm more, what I want and how I act is completely different. Like, if I'm like consistently losing, like, I start to hate it like a lot and I start focusing on the winning aspect of a fighting game. But like, if I'm fighting somebody that I know is like evenly matched, or like I'm enjoying myself, I don't really care about winning that much. I'm just kind of enjoying it. So like, once again, I feel like I'm in the middle. but I think probably more often I would say to win, probably. Just because that's just the goal of fighting games, is to win. That's the ultimate goal, is to get better so you can win. You fight because you want to win, but in order to do that, what do you place most importance on? Knowing the ins and outs of my character, unleashing their full potential, being able to think quick on my feet and assess any given situation right away. I like knowing my character's inside and out. That's really important to me. Chun-Li and Classic. Recommended fighter. You like to keep your feet moving and act with elegance and grace, so Chun-Li is best for you. With her fast movement speed and wide array of quick attacks, Chun-Li makes it easy to control the fight, and her celerity stream allow her to charge stances and mix up her attacks, tripping your opponent. And then recommended control type. You're in it to win and willing to put in the work. Classic control scheme is right for you. The tried and true Street Fighter 6 button experience rewards you the more you put into it, and helps you draw out a character's true potential and clinch victory. So Chun-Li and Classic is what this quiz says I should play in Street Fighter 6. Huh. You know, if I play Street Fighter 6, I think I'd be willing to try out Chun-Li. I think I'd be willing to do that. It could be fun. Alright, Dragon Ball Fighters. Who is my Dragon Ball Fighters main? Okay, if it's anything other than Krillin or Super Saiyan Vegeta, this list is just wrong. Okay, just saying that right now. If it's not Krillin or Super Saiyan Vegeta, then it's just wrong. Alright, I can say you the Street Fighter 6 one. No, watch you get fucking DJ. Alright, Dragon Ball Fighters quiz, let's go. What's my favorite saga? Saiyan Saga, easy. Like, no contest. You're on a walk and just finished some fast food. And now you're holding the trash. Where's the trash going? You don't eat fast food, the ground, the can, or trash can. Your servant? What the fuck? The can, I'll take... What? The can? But I'm throwing it like a basketball. And this, because I'm not a degenerate. Pick an anime. Dragon Ball, Love Life, One Piece. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Spirited Away. If you're asking me what's my favorite, One Piece. What's my male personality type? What the fuck does this mean? Is there a skip button? I don't know what any of these mean. Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Omega, Sigma? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch tight by toe it, let it go, dead Delta. You're playing... What the fuck are these questions? You're playing Uno and you have a wild draw 4. Why are you playing it? You don't have any other matching cards. Next player has Uno. Shutting that shit down. Oh hell yeah, that's hella me. I always save my draw 4 for somebody that has an Uno. I always save it for that. Hell no, you're not getting a damn Uno. Fuck that shit. How do I pick characters? Whoever looks cool. Design, combos, animations. The hot one. Tier list. I'm picking the less played characters. I want gimmicks. The first one, I don't know. Don't really play fighting games. I play whoever looks cool. Pick a D&D class. I don't play D&D, so can't pick. Pick a drink. Water, Monster, Gatorade, Heat Tap. Anyway. Pick one that best describes you. I don't know what any of these mean. I'm just gonna pick this one, because fuck that. Pick a movie. Any old... What are these questions? What the fuck are these questions? Any older Power Rangers movie. Karate Kid, Z Broly, Robin Hood, Air Bud, Space Jam, Fast and the Furious, The Lion King. Probably The Lion King is probably my favorite out of all of them. What the fuck? What are these questions? Yeah, what even is this question? Are you into furniture? Bro, what are these questions? What's my favorite color? Yellow. Android 16, nigga, bro. What? First of all, these questions are stupid. Second of all, yo, this gotta be random. There's no way. There's no way. Why the fuck? Why is it Android 16? Like, to be fair, I have played him before, and I think he's hella fun. But 16? What? My favorite saga is the Saiyan saga. How'd you get Android 16 from that? Yo, this quiz is stupid. I hate this quiz. Oh my god. He's a really good boy and you appreciate that. He's tough to pick up because of the universal B&B doesn't quite work with him, but you don't care. You'll learn because you love him. You don't blow him up at full health either, only as a last resort, when he has no other options. Even then, you keep him in the bag for his B assist, or feed him a sensu because you want to keep him alive. Yo, this quiz is actually stupid. This quiz was shit. It didn't have like legit any actual like legit questions in it. Okay, yeah, this list was ass. All right. Now, like I said, I have played 16 and I think he's a really fun character. But the only reason why I played 16 is because he meshes well with Krillin and Blue Vegeta. That's literally the only reason I played him. Like 16 is a fine character in the show, but like he's far from one of my favorites. Alright, so this is the Grand Blue Rising character type quiz. So, I'm hoping we get Vera or Fairy, but we'll see what they think the character is right for me. Do you prefer well-rounded, easy-to-control characters that are beginner-friendly, or strong but difficult-to-master characters that are more advanced? Give me a character who's easy to use for beginners but packs a punch. Give me a character who is very particular playstyle and who's incredibly powerful if I mastered it. Now, my honest answer is give me an easy character, because I have a life and I don't want to spend 30 hours labbing a character just for him to get stomped out by an easy character. But, more often than not, I usually pick characters that have really unique movesets, and therefore they usually are harder to play. Like Fairy. She's one of the hardest characters in the game to play, but she's also bad, but I didn't know that at the time. But I played her because of her unique moveset, and it just so happens that she was a really hard character to play. Vera was my first main, mostly because she basically had every tool you needed to play the game, right? But I didn't play someone like Grand because he's way more basic than Vera is. Like, of course she has like the DP and all that stuff, but she doesn't have a traditional fireball. She kind of has like this oaky like fairy fireball type of thing, which is way more unique. She has an install, she has a command grab, like she has unique things about her. So like in my heart, I'd probably say like give me an easy character, but like most characters I've played usually have like tool sets that are like outside of like the traditional stuff, like more often than not. So probably B, I would say, is the most consistent with what characters I played. Your opponent is ready and the round begins. What's your opening strategy to get the upper hand? I start by throwing out attacks or projectiles in neutral to feel my opponent out first. I start by closing the distance to rush them down with close range attacks. Usually I like throwing out projectiles first. Just like I said, neutral is very important. If your opponent doesn't know how to play neutral, then most often than not they'll lose. So I like seeing how they deal with neutral first more than anything. How each player responds during wake up can be critical. When dealing with a defensive opponent, how do you press your advantage offensively? I maintain a control of battle by creating advantageous situations and keeping them on a defense. Regardless of the opponent's style, I want to do whatever suits my mood at the moment. Okay, yeah, B is definitely not me. B is definitely not me. Because and here's the thing. I think it's like when it comes to like mindset, like in my mind, most of the things that I do for a reason, even if it doesn't look like it. So like from an outside perspective, like if a top tier like Vera player, like, or a top tier fairy player, like looked at my gameplay, they'd probably be like, whoa, why is this nigga just like doing random shit? But like when I'm playing him, like I usually, like, if I'm tossing out like GG and neutral, it's like, okay, I know where GG is gonna land. Okay, so how is my opponent gonna interact with GG? Like, I'm thinking about stuff like that, even if it looks like I'm just throwing out stuff for like the sake of throwing it out. So like, A is like what I feel I do, even though B might be what I do in practice. But A fits more with my mentality. You got a good start and now have the life advantage. It's time to put your strategy into action, which is toy with the opponent using a wide variety of moves. Keep the opponent at bay from mid to long range. Yeah, B is definitely me. B is definitely me. I usually like keeping my opponent at a distance for the most part, unless I know I can get in. Because it shows, like I said, it shows their weakness in neutral. Which I find neutral to be the most important thing in a fighting game. Well, I love this song. Alright. You still have the life advantage in the final leg of the match. The opponent is looking for a comeback. In order to ensure your victory, do you stay mid-range or long range? You stay mid or long range. I bombard the opponent with projectiles from the opposite side of the screen. I use my weapon's long range to keep them at bay. I'm more willing to press on them with buttons more than use fireballs because, well, the thing is, I don't play characters with like traditional fireballs in Granblue, so like my answer is like different because like I play characters like with like very weird projectiles, so I have to use my normals. So B, it's probably. Bruh, I can't make this up. I can't make it up. Fairy, bro. Fairy. Why do you have to be bad in this game? Why? The quiz says we're meant to be. All right. Anyway, your recommended character is Fairy, the ghostly fighter whose whip and pack reach beyond death. Fairy excels at long-range combat by keeping opponents away with her far-reaching whip. Control the pace of battle by calling upon her pets, GG get 'em. Her pets, GG get 'em, can stop foes dead in their tracks, while Beppo, Sick'em, can punish those who get too close for comfort. Fairy, Fairy is so fun. Fairy is so fun, but so ass. In the context of Rising, I don't think she's a bad character in her design. But for the context of Rising, she's a bad character, in my opinion. But yeah, Fairy, dude. I can't make it up. Bro, bro. That's why I stuck around with Fairy a lot longer than Vera. That's all I'm gonna say. Alright, the final quiz for today. Guilty Gear Strive character quiz. So, the two characters I play in Guilty Gear Strive is Gold Lewis and May, so we'll see if I get those characters, or if the game says, oh yeah, you like Shotos, then play Soul Bad Guy. Ugh. Alright, Guilty Gear Strive, what you got for me? What's the most important thing to you? Doing one thing and doing it well, having tools for every situation, feeling suitably rewarded when I perform well. I like having a variety of tools. I do. What sort of moral system do you like in a character? Any sort of good. I really don't like playing assholes. I like neutral characters. I love to play the villain. I have no strong feelings either way. I don't really care. As long as they're cool to me, it doesn't matter. Do you have a character gender preference? Strongly male, male, female, strongly female. This is tough because like most of the characters I play are females. Like let me think about it. So let's look at the females that I play. So Fairy, Vera, Fukua, Sarabella, Noelle. Who else? Inquisitor. Is that all the? Chie, Ruby. Ushi Wakamaru and Melty Blood. So that's like what, 9 female characters? 9 female characters, and I play the 2 Vegetas in Dragon Ball. I play Krillin. I play Vegito. I play Gold Lewis. I play DJ. Is that it? Is that all the male characters I play? I think that's it. I don't play any male characters in Melty Blood. I don't play any male characters in Grand Blue. Okay, yeah, maybe I do have a female preference, actually. I play 9 female and 6 male characters. Okay, maybe I do subtly prefer female characters, but most often than not, like, if I'm looking at a character roster, and, like, I mostly look at the toolkits if I think they're unique and fun. But just for the sake that it's literally a 9 to 6 split, I'm just gonna say female, just because that just seems the most consistent. When in a match, what's my favorite thing to do? Keep the pressure on my opponent, over-maneuvering my foe, mind games, executing the right combos in the right situations, none of the above. In Guilty Gear Strive specifically, I like executing correctly. Because keeping pressure on my opponent, I would prefer that I do that in Guilty Gear, but I'm like not good at it like at all. So like I kind of just look for an opening and then I take it, and then whatever combo I do, I try to make sure that the combo that I do is the most effective one. Bro, no bullshit, you got Cammy? Hell yeah. Bro, I don't know if you saw it, bro. My Fighters one, I got Android 16, bro. Like, why? Like, why did I get Android 16? I mean, this quiz, like, this Fighters quiz was ass. It gave me, like, a whole bunch of random questions that didn't even matter to Fighters. But I got Android 16, bro. Like, why? Why did I get Android 16 in Fighters? Like, why? Why did this happen? And in my Grand Blue, I got Fairy, which makes a lot of sense, because Fairy is my favorite character in Rising, so that makes sense. This does not make sense to me. What? This does not make sense to me. Like, why? Why Android 16? Out of all the Fighters characters. What's the most important or enjoyable quality in a character? Damage, health points, mobility, utility. I prefer to play an all-rounder. I like utility. I like characters with a lot of utility. Do I have fun when zoning? Yes. I like to zone. Do I have fun playing a rushdown? No. Oh shit. Whoops. No, I don't like playing Rushdown. I don't. Because Rushdown implies that I'm not thinking about what I'm doing. Rushdown is like, I'm going to be aggressive until it works. And that's just not me. I don't like being aggressive for no reason. Like, you can be a smart rushdown player, but more often than not, most rushdown players are not thinking about what they do. They just want to bombard you with countless offensive options until you just give up. Or until you just can't fight back, and I don't like that. Do I enjoy playing the one-player game? So it's like, it's asking me, do I like playing, like, 1v1 games or, like, team games? I love getting the opponent into a situation they cannot really do anything. I'm fine with doing it sometimes, if the need arises. I would rather play more footsies, neutral, two-player game. Oh, this asking, okay, it's asking me, do I prefer playing a character, like, playing, like, a playstyle where, like, I'm in control all the time, and no, I don't. Because it's boring. I think it's boring, honestly. I got Android 16, but I chose Saiyan Saga? Exactly, but that quiz is stupid. Like, that quiz was actually stupid. It was ass. Like, how did I get Android 16, but my favorite saga in all of Dragon Ball is the Saiyan Saga? Like, bro, come on, stop playing with me. What range am I most comfortable fighting at? Close range, mid-range, long range. I like playing mid-range. That's where I'm most comfortable. Does the idea of stances or multiple movesets in a character sound appealing? No. Well, I would prefer a character with one moveset, but I'm not opposed to playing a stance character. I'm not opposed to it, but, you know. Are you okay with charge inputs? Yes. I played plenty of charge characters. Are they my preferred way of doing things? No, but I can play them and I can have fun with them. So, if it's just for occasional neutral defensive, it's cool with me. I like them for a lot of combos. I'd probably say if I had to have a charge input, I would prefer it to be like a move that's used for like combos and stuff, because you can hide inputs within the charge move. If I'm using like a charge move for neutral, then it's like it's really obvious when you're charging, right? I don't like that. So like if I'm using a charge character, like I would prefer their charge moves to be more offensively, like for combos or block strings or something, because you can hide the charge within other moves. What is your preferred way of opening people up? Simple frame trap, throw game, risk block string, command grab, high-low, left-right. My favorite way of opening people, I would probably say high-low mix-ups. I really like doing high-low mix-ups. They're really fun. Are you okay with having set up in your moveset? Oh, hell yeah, I love me some set play. I like the idea of set play as a basis of starting off as neutral. I like, yeah, setting up pressure on knockdown. Yeah, I love set play. It's very fun. Would you like a projectile? Always. I love me a projectile. I want at least a standard full screen horizontal one. As long as it controls a good space, it doesn't have to be full screen. Yeah, this is probably within, yeah. I want trickier, meter-only controllable, some kind of unique. I do not prefer projectiles, nah. I like one that controls space, regardless of what space it does take, because that means I can work around that. What kind of reversal do you like? I need a meterless reversal. Metered-only reversals are fine. See, here's the thing. I am of the opinion of my preferred way of doing reversal in fighting games is if fully invul reversals cost a resource. That's my preferred way of doing things. But I won't complain if my character has a meterless reversal, because most often than not, the counterplay to reversals in general is just baiting them because it has a lot of recovery. But if you're asking me, like, preferably, I'd prefer metered reversals, right? Because it's just, like, way more risk-reward to me. Pick the character resource type that sounds the most fun. Managing an additional meter, maybe something like ammunition, or summoned projectile. Nothing special. Additional meters sounds fun. Cause like I like characters with like a lot of utility. Like I'm gonna say no preference. Like if the character I'm using has like a unique moveset but doesn't require an additional meter system, then that's fine with me. If they do, that's also fine with me. As long as their moveset is fun and I can execute on it. So I don't really have a preference. How good do you want your vortex / knockdown pressure to be? I want the same options I would have. Starting a neutral block string is fine. I want set play, projectile pressure as they're getting up. Yeah, I love this. I love this. I want to have so many mix-up options that the opponent will have to make a big guess on wake up or risk of getting blown up. It's literally between these two, but more often than not, I like set play. Bro, I can't make this up. My first character was May. My first character was May, dude. And here's the, like I said, I've always said this, and I stay true to this. I only played May because she was a meme. No other reason at the time, right? At the time when the game first came out. The only reason I played May is because she was a meme and I wanted to annoy the fuck out of people. But I will say, as I kept playing the character, I liked her as herself. Like I liked playing her. Like if I only played her for the meme, like outside of like the 3-month span where she was like a total meme, like I probably would have dropped her and played somebody else. Like, and I kind of did. Like I kind of dropped her for Gold Lewis, but like May was more like a secondary character at the time when Gold Lewis first came out. So even then, it wasn't until like relatively recently that I've been like solo maining Gold Lewis, right? I like having a pocket May because I think May deals with the matchups that Gold Lewis is bad at really well. So like I like having a pocket May. So like this makes sense. Other characters I might like, Faust and Ramathal. Actually, I did try Ram. I remember before. Actually, was this before Goat Lewis came out? I can't remember, but I remember that at one point I wanted to drop May because the charge inputs was just way too difficult until I just started getting used to it. And the character that I wanted to swap to after May was Ram. She was the second character